Remember, Trump was always tied to Epstein. She has been a congresswoman for 4 years. She already knew what was in the Epstein files. She didn't just learn anything. Do not fall for Marjorie Taylor Greene's complete, utter, corrupt deceit.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back, and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
Also got a nice letter from a lady named Jenny. So I'm just going to read some letters that people sent and left at KarenHunterShow.com. And they hit the comments. Hi, Miss Hunter. I just want to start by saying I found and listened to your show today for the very first time and was elated. I'm a non-practicing white woman. I'm actually loving that better than melanemic because she's saying something. I'm a non-practicing white woman who is a blue dot in a red bubble. Plainly put, it sucks. And listening to you today made sitting in traffic amazing. Must have been on a Friday. Yes. Well, Friday's going to be amazing. Shout out to Roderick Morrow and all of the Friday people. Jenny said, I really appreciate your willingness to not mince words. You spoke the truth and you owned it. And I love that you refused to bend in any way, especially, so this wasn't a Friday, especially in regards to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm constantly screaming about how these disgusting losers jump on whatever train suits them in the moment. I call it the John and Ken phenomenon. John and Ken. Although they weren't the first to do it, it was the first time I witnessed the blatant lack of actually standing on any business of what they preached. You really just spoke truth today, and I felt compelled to write you and tell you you rock, and I will tune in regularly. Thanks, Jenny. And don't think I'm only going to read good letters. Today I will, though. Today is only good. And I thank you, Jenny. Welcome to the family. Now, let's talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene, who announced this weekend that she will be resigning from Congress. She said she's leaving. Yeah, but the timing of it is lining up with something that doesn't quite look like someone that's doing it because, Trump. Smith, did I pull her because she put out a whole video, and I might have consciously said I don't want to hear out of her mouth. Yeah, I didn't pull that clip. Y'all can find it, though, because I didn't believe it, if I'm being honest. I do believe that this president is probably harassing her in her way. And she feels harassed. But as Jasmine Crockett, who was asked about it, said, she's not going through what I'm going through. And if she can't stand up to Trump, then she can't stand up for the people, which is basically, I'm paraphrasing, but I think I said it powerfully too, that if you can't stand up to the ether of this man, basically withdrawing his support from you, Jasmine Crockett is getting inundated every single day by Trump and his MAGA minions. And she's still out there standing on business. If you can't stand up for the people in this time, then you should sit down. But why are you sitting down now? It appears that it is advantageous for her to leave now, and she can leave with a church finger up because she has profited greatly. As a matter of fact, I do have a clip from someone who kind of broke down what they believe Marjorie Taylor Greene, why she's leaving now, and basically, is she corrupt? I don't know. Play the Gray Canary, Smiz.
Do not fall for the deceit of Marjorie Taylor Greene. She has not had some change in character or understanding of the political system. She is the worst, most corrupt part of the political system. Let me give you some numbers. Joe Biden was a senator for decades. He was a vice president. He was the president. At age 80, he was worth roughly $15 to $20 million, somewhere in there, based on his tax returns. The most powerful man on the planet for a while. Marjorie Taylor Greene was just a House rep. There's hundreds of them. When she entered Congress in 2021, she had $700,000 to her name. Now she has $25 million. In 4 years, she made $25 million. You will not see that anywhere else in the House of Representatives. And what did she do? Did she pass any legislation? Did she offer policy changes? She didn't do anything From the start, remember, January 6th, she wasn't even sworn in during the attack on the Capitol. She was front and center. During 4 years of the Biden administration, she fought tooth and nail against everything Biden tried to do. Undercutting deficit reduction, undercutting immigration law, undercutting economic policies, undercutting everything, and being face forward for Trump, Trump's biggest supporter, as he became a convicted felon liable for sexual assault. He had a woman in Congress defending him. She served a purpose. Now that her purpose is done and Trump's in office, she's not interested. She can't even be bothered to finish a 2-year term that she ran for. She was paid to help Trump. That task is done. They've given her the avenue to leave, smiling with a good face and saying, oh, I'm against Epstein. Remember, Trump was always tied to Epstein. She has been a congresswoman for 4 years. She already knew what was in the Epstein files. She didn't just learn anything. Do not fall for Marjorie Taylor Greene's complete, utter, corrupt deceit.
I agree. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez also rang in on the I can't. I'm death threats, and I'm not saying she's not being threatened, but it just also speaks to the party that you so vociferously supported for so many years, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Matter of fact, you were out there chasing down a young man who had watched his classmate shot and killed at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas School in Florida. You were harassing David Hogue out there in the streets before you came to Congress. This has been, embarking like a dog in Congress, being the disruptor, not passing too many bills, not standing for anything. And now you're outraged. This man was an adjudicated sex offender before he was reelected, and you supported that. So you don't care about these victims, not at all. And AOC said this. She said she's carefully timing her departure just 1 to 2 days after her pension kicks in, and after making millions of dollars, which that gentleman just pointed out, insider trading stocks for weapons manufacturers and others while in office. It is something that I know I talk about quite often because I did this book with Keith Ellison. I published it actually, My Country 'Tis of Thee. And spending time with him in Congress, he said the one most distasteful thing about it is the fundraising and how so many people come in with not a lot of money and they leave millionaires. By the way, there are 435 people who are in the House of Representatives. It's not just a couple of hundred. It's 435 House of Representative members, of which she was one. And they all get to insider trade. That should be question number one for anybody running for Congress. J.L. Colvin will be here. He's running for Mikey Sherrill's seat, which is vacated because she's now governor of New Jersey. I'm going to ask him, when you go to Congress, will you vote to stop the insider trading? Matter of fact, I think that's part of his campaign. So I already know the answer. But yeah, they get the insider trade. We don't. And she insider traded. And he said, this guy whose clip I just played, 20 million. There's a figure out there that she's made upwards of 40 million, which is a number that I think we also gave to Venezuela. No, we gave Venezuela 40 billion. My bad. It's a lot of money being thrown around. Anyway, AOC continues. She said, after making millions of dollars insider trading stocks for weapons manufacturers and others while in office, she is saying a lot, but her actions, and she put actions in all caps, have not backed up the rhetoric. For all her talk, she, Marjorie Taylor Greene, still voting with them to gut health care and advance self-dealing corruption schemes. Didn't she? She voted for the big, beautiful bill. Yes, she did. She did. So while I'm happy she's going, I think, she was intimating that she might be running for governor. She might be running for senator. Somebody said she might be running for president. Please run. Run, Forrest, run. Please, I hope you run. I hope you do run. I think she's going to go spend her money somewhere. I think she's just going to fade into the, I don't know if she can fade into the sunset. Yes, I know it was Argentina. I said Venezuela. We're targeting Venezuela. We gave Argentina 40 billion. Thank you, Smiths. We correct in real time here, by the way. And I love it because we want to put good information out. And everyone who has a platform should want to put out good information. You should stop yourself in mid-sentence. And if you can get corrected, get corrected. We need to be correct in this time, and I appreciate it. So do y'all care about Marjorie Taylor Greene? I really don't. I don't care, other than she is a symptom of what ails our politics. And it's time for us to elect better people.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.